After the blaze that burned, the regret have become ashes, filled with momentary emotions. I want to free myself and get away. The love ties I have broken, no time for useless love. Free from mind control, my emotions run wild, burning deep inside. He doesn't have time for useless love, or so he sees it, and I really think this is having to do with heartbreak. And I think for anybody that's experienced heartbreak, probably one of the worst emotional pains you can kind of go through. And in going through that, you don't really have a desire to ever experience that again, understandably. Free from mind control, yeah. I mean, when you're by yourself on your own, you think for yourself. When you're with a partner, I feel like you stop living so much for yourself and you start living for your partner. Your partner kind of becomes more of a priority, and usually I feel like in a lot of instances your partner comes before yourself. I interpret it as you think more for them and not so much for yourself. So yeah, free from mind control, free from love. And I think this kind of doubles back to right here. After the blaze that burned, the regret have become ashes, filled with momentary emotions. So I think, yeah, that is kind of heartbreak. The regrets have become ashes. The regrets, I guess the broken love, whatever went wrong in this relationship. He doesn't really regret it anymore. He's moved on. It's interesting. Heartbreak is an interesting thing. I don't know. In some instances, you become kind of like dead inside. I guess kind of like myself, as weird as that sounds. I don't really have the ability to emotionally like have a connection to things. Like I don't emotionally get invested in like anything. So some people become that way. Some people just become more standoffish to the thought of love. Some people, I don't know, it's just weird. We definitely put our guards up a lot for sure after that. So filled with momentary emotions, I imagine that's just kind of thinking back, reflecting back on it, where you have those, fleeting moments where you kind of maybe miss it or you regret it, but it's just all a moment and you just move on. I take it up without hesitation, break it up from what stands in the way. I just burn it up now. I just burn it up. I take it up without hesitation, burn it up into white ashes. Yeah, I just burn it up now. Maybe this kind of refers to emotions, for example, where maybe he's kind of reflecting on the past. He's reflecting on that, past relationship. Maybe he regrets it. Maybe he wishes he'd done things differently. Maybe he's just saying those type of emotions, those feelings that he's having, he burns those up because those are hindering his, free thinking, his emotions running wild, hindering his freedom of thought. The illusionary reality of greed. The murmurs of dreams led once again into the red burning world. The deceptive reality of greed, correlating to what I think it's about so far. It could be deceptive because it might be greedy to think that you can have this love, but also at the time think for yourself and be free of what he perceives as mind control, and to be able to kind of let his emotions run in whatever avenue, just be a free thinker as well. Think for himself, but also have the ability to have this love in his life as well. The murmurs of dreams led once again. This could maybe be him thinking about if things were different, if he kind of maybe had a do-over. It could be just of his life being in a different place, but it could just also be if things were different between him and this person. Into the red burning world, a world that's a very dark place, a place filled with misery, a place filled with dread, just a lot of negativity. It's really interesting when I think about it, because I swear every song that I try to do a breakdown for that kind of reflects onto the world in its entirety, I think I've always had like a negative interpretation from the lyrics. It's so interesting. It's never, very rarely ever, oh, the bright, beautiful world, or the world so full of joy. It's always like, oh, to this world of misery, to this burning world, to this world of darkness. It's so much negativity, and I think it's interesting when I think back to that, because I feel like the predominant amount of artists that I listen to, I guess, have kind of the same perception that maybe myself and maybe a lot of others have, where just when you reflect on the world in its entirety, it's hard to have a positive interpretation of the world. It's just, I don't know, it's just really depressing when you think about it. When I see myself reflected in your eyes, everything seems possible. This is where it's really conflicting, because reflected in your eyes, everything seems possible is very optimistic. It seems like the world's kind of in their hands when they're together. He also doesn't have time for useless love. So it's like he wants to be alone, he wants to be independent. He just wants to be able to be by himself. But he also, the world's kind of his oyster when he's with this person. People have this idea that you and I together, we can do anything. Is very, I interpret it as like we're destined to be together, like we're soulmates, like everything is possible when we're together. So it's like conflicting because he wants to be by himself and think for himself, be free from the mind control, but he also knows, or at least he perceives it as like them two together could do anything. With my perception of this, it's, he's probably gone through heartbreak with this individual, and anybody that's experienced heartbreak obviously doesn't want to get back into it. You just rather be by yourself because you don't have to worry about being emotionally destroyed. You don't have to worry about opening yourself up emotionally and being hurt. But I think ultimately he still has maybe a lot of love for this person. Maybe he just wishes things were different. Maybe he still loves this person, but knows that it won't ever be the same. Yeah, I imagine it's just somebody that was with somebody, had the world in their hands, they could do anything together. Something occurred, whatever happened. He probably went through heartbreak. He no longer wants to deal with anybody. He no longer wants to be with somebody. He just wants to be on his own, do his own thing. But the world's a darker place, or a red burning world in this instance. Of course, he still has momentary thoughts of maybe this person, maybe regrets of how things went, but he just kind of burns up the idea. He tries to push down those emotions ultimately, and just kind of, like Eren Yeager would say in Attack on Titan, just keep moving forward. It's a little rough around the edges for sure. First lyric breakdown of the day. Just woke up like 30 minutes ago, so it's kind of rough. Yeah, I'm sure you guys can kind of get what I'm trying to say, and I'm sure you guys will write it in the comments on your perception in a much more eloquent way than I did. But I think you guys will understand what I'm trying to say. But definitely let me know how you interpret this. I think this band's pretty cool. I enjoy this band, and hopefully you guys enjoy this band. Hopefully I can come back to it. If you guys don't enjoy the band, that's cool. I'll probably listen to them on my own time and listen to more of their music. I have like a plethora, I'm sure, of Korean artists to kind of listen to and explore. So definitely help me in the comments there. But yeah, definitely let me know what you guys think. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.